What is going on, guys? Paul Ryan back at it again. I hope everybody's having a good night. I would like to apologize for there again not being a stream tonight. I know I said yesterday that we were going to be doing our stream tonight, but unfortunately, I was the one who was dealing with if you want to call it a family emergency, if you will, today. So, because of that, we had to postpone this week's show yet again. So I do apologize for those of you who are looking forward to that. I know I'm excited. I shouldn't say I'm excited, but I'd like to discuss this 49ers game. I think it's important, and I'd really like to discuss this preview of the Falcons game because, again, I think it's important. I love talking these Cowboys as bad as they're playing right now, as much as they're hurting my soul to watch and to recap these losses. That being said, kind of going back to the 49ers game, I was listening to Brian Broaddus on 105.3 The Fan yesterday, and he was talking about Dak's interceptions. And after watching the All-22, he said the first interception was bad footwork, but in addition, feeling the pressure and not getting enough under his throw because of the pressure, which leading to putting too much air under the ball and allowing that 49er safety to have enough time to get over to make the interception. The second interception was Dak just making a bad play. I mean, Dak even said it himself. That's one of the worst interceptions he's ever had in his career, but just a bad play. Dak trying to force something and, not to take anything away from the 49ers defender either. He made a good play, but yeah, just an overall bad play by Dak Prescott. Now, the reason I bring those things up is because Brian Broaddus also mentioned how watching the All-22, none of these receivers are getting open, man. Kevontae Turpin not getting open, Jalen Tolbert not getting open, I shouldn't say not getting open, but not creating a lot of separation. And, that we see when receivers aren't getting separation, Dak will just kind of force it to CeeDee Lamb because that's really the only receiver he trusts. And he even went as far as to say that Jake Ferguson really not having that great of a game. And overall, I mean, you kind of think about the season, Jake Ferguson has kind of regressed a bit this season. Now, this whole offense, right, has regressed this season, but it's just been kind of surprising. I thought Jake Ferguson was due for a career type of year. I thought this offense would bounce right back from what we saw last year. Of course, that not being the case with the offensive line and everything that we've already discussed in length this season. But yeah, just Jake Ferguson again not performing up to not only his standards, but I think what we all thought we might see from him. The reason I bring up those interceptions, those receivers, we saw last week Kansas City made a trade for DeAndre Hopkins. We saw the Buffalo Bills make a trade for Amari Cooper. And we saw, I thought there was another trade. It's slipping my mind. Please forgive me on that, guys. Oh, we saw the New York Jets trade for Devontae Adams. Now, the New York Jets are 2-6, but they were looking to do something to improve their team. The Kansas City Chiefs are an undefeated team, but yet they went out and made a move to improve their team, addressing a need. We saw the Buffalo Bills are not undefeated, but they are the number one team in their division, and yet they went out and improved their team, filling a void that was left behind from injuries, and just again improving their team. And then just this week, we see the Baltimore Ravens, who have plenty of weapons, are the number one team in their division, and yet they go out and they acquire a Deontay Johnson. Reason I bring that up is I wonder if this Cowboys team is going to do anything. I think it's safe to say after 7 games that maybe the Cowboys do need to upgrade at the receiver spot. And it's not trying to take anything from Jalen Tolbert or Kevontae Turpin because I actually really like those guys heading into the season. I wanted to see them get more playing time. But I thought CeeDee Lamb had it right. Excuse me, not CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Pickett, a.k.a. Mike Crum, had it right prior to the season starting that we needed to improve at the wide receiver 2 spot. That, going into the season, if you have Jalen Tolbert as your wide receiver 3 or 4, Kevontae Turpin as your wide receiver 4 or 5, then you're feeling pretty good. And that was with Brandon Cooks. Now we don't have Brandon Cooks, right, because he's been on IR. But just factoring all those things in, and again, after 7 weeks of play, I think it's fair to say that another weapon is needed for this offense. Now, I know that that's not going to help with the offensive line, but maybe if Dak has another weapon that he feels more confident in, that could obviously help the offense. But, getting rid of the ball quicker, not putting so much pressure on this offensive line. I know the offensive line hasn't been playing well. You think about Zach Martin and Terrence Steele, right? They haven't been playing that great this year. And then Tyler Guyton's been up and down. Of course, you expect that from a rookie. But I do kind of wonder if this team is maybe a playmaker away on offense, away from maybe fighting for a playoff spot, because right now, they don't look like a playoff spot to me. But we saw in 2018, they started the season 3-5. They went out and got Amari Cooper, and were able to turn their season around. So I wonder if that could be the case this season. I don't think so, but I would like to see the Cowboys do something. But let me know what you think. Do you think that the Cowboys are a playmaker away from maybe competing for a playoff spot, or should the Cowboys start thinking about maybe blowing this thing up and trading away veteran players and getting some day three draft capital to better the team through the draft, as we know the Cowboys like to do? Let me know in the comments. Again, as always, I'm Paul Ryan. Make sure to subscribe, review, and like, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.